you got the job. Now what? At some point, everybody in this room will, at some point, experience a job interview, and somewhere along the line, an employer will say to you, congratulations, you got the job. Well, I'm going to share 6 words with you that I believe will answer the question, now what? These 6 words will become the foundation for what can be a very successful and long career. These 6 words can actually change your direction and your destiny in life. First, though, I want to share a couple of different events that occurred in my life that helped teach me some lessons in my career. Some of them represented here on the stage. A lawnmower, dishes, getting fired from a job, and a toilet plumber. When I was 10 years old, my brother and I decided that we were going to become entrepreneurs. And so we grabbed our dad's lawnmower and we went out into the neighborhood. We started knocking on doors. And as they answered, we said, hey, we'd like to mow your lawn. And they said, well, we'd love to have you mow our lawn. How much are you going to charge? See, we hadn't thought about that yet. We had no idea. We didn't really know what we were doing. So my brother said, how about $3 for the front and back yard? Who wouldn't take? Now, hey, when I was growing up, the yards were a lot bigger than they are today. So the guy at the door said, congratulations, you got the job. So off we went, we fired that baby up, and we started mowing lawns, and we were ripping through it because we knew the faster we mowed lawns, the more lawns we could mow, the more money we could make. We learned real quick. It's just like that commercial. It's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast. We got done after about 30 minutes. My brother was mowing the backyard. I was raking and edging the front. I would mow the front. He would rake and edge the backyard. And we flew through it. We knocked on the door and said, sir, we're done. We'd like our $3. He came out and said, not so fast. Let me do an inspection here. So he walked through the yard. He said, you know what? You missed a spot here. Hey, you got to pull some weeds over here. Looks like you kind of roughed up some things here. I need to have you do it all over again. So all over again we did it. All day that Saturday, we went knocking on doors, mowing lawns for $3. At the end of 5 hours, we dragged ourselves back to the house, man. We were so excited. Wads of cash in our pocket. We pulled the money out, started counting. $12. 6 for my brother, 6 for me. There's a couple of things that this lawnmower taught me. And that was that hard work and teamwork are critical for achieving success. A few years later, when I was in high school, I had a paper route and I was delivering newspapers, and along that route was a brand new restaurant that had opened up, pizza parlor, Italian restaurant. And I was delivering papers one day when the owner of the restaurant came out and said, hey, how would you like to have a job? I said, I'd love to have a job. I said, what would I be doing? He said, man, you'll be washing dishes. I said, washing dishes? I can wash dishes. Who can't? Dishes. I can wash them. He says, congratulations, you got the job. I said, how much am I going to make? He said, minimum wage, $2.15 an hour. I said, sign me up. I quit my paper out, started washing dishes. The first day I showed up, see, I didn't realize, it was the grand opening of this restaurant. He had put out flyers everywhere. That night, hundreds, and I mean hundreds of people showed up to the restaurant to try the pizza, to try the Italian food. When I arrived at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, dishes were already stacked as tall as I am. There was a little hole in this wall where the busboys would come and they would just shove the dishes through the hole. And they would stack up and stack up. And I thought, hey, I can just put the dishes in a dishwasher. No, really? I am the dishwasher. And they were sticking them into me. So I would fire up that, I would fill that sink with hot water, fill it with soap, and all day long I was washing dishes. I washed dishes from 3 p.m. until after midnight. 9 hours of washing dishes. I hate washing dishes. I got home, I dragged myself to bed, I got up the next morning, my father was as proud as could be. He said, son, how'd it go last night? I said, Dad, I don't know. My back was aching, my legs were sore. I said, I don't think I'm destined to be a dishwasher. I don't think I'm going back, Dad. He said, oh, yes, you are. See, my dad's a former Marine, and I knew better than to argue with a former Marine. He said, son, you're going back. And he said, you know what? I want you to go back with a good attitude. And so I did. I went back that day, the next day, the day after that. You know what? Things started to get a little bit easier. I started learning to wash dishes a little bit quicker. The dishes didn't pile up so quickly. And you know what? I actually began to apply a better attitude. I had a good attitude, and one day the boss came in to me and he said, "Hey, how would you like to start making pizzas?" I said, "Making pizzas? I'd love to start making pizzas. Do I have to give up? Do I have to give up washing dishes? I will make pizzas." So I went from a dishwasher to a pizza maker. I loved making pizzas, entertaining people when they came in, feeding my friends. It was a lot of fun. I loved that job. Years later, I got a job at a local electronics firm, and I started working there. I went in for the interview, and I was so new to this really kind of more professional environment. But I had been taking mechanical drawing classes in high school, and they needed a mechanical drafter. So I went in, I told him what I was all about, and he said, "Congratulations, son, you got the job." Shook my hand, and I started there, and you know what, it was a lot of fun. I had to learn some different things. But as I got started, opportunities began to open up for me. I began to get some advancements in my career, in this young career of mine. And I became, at 19 years old, a supervisor for that company. I oversaw certain people. I oversaw the assembly department. I thought, man, I am on my way in life. Well, over time, things began to change. My attitude kind of turned sour. Tension started to develop between me and the employer. One day, I was in talking to the employer, and I'd been thinking about making some changes in my career and maybe going back to school. And he actually said to me, "Hey, if you change your work schedule, I'll cut your pay." Now I'm 19 years old, and I think pretty much that I own the world. So when he said that, I just back at him. I said, "Well, B, hey, you cut my pay? I'll slap a lawsuit against you so fast it'll leave you spinning in your chair." 19 years old I was. That man who hired me 3 years earlier, who said to me, "Congratulations, you got the job," said to me without missing a beat, "Son, you're fired." Being fired was the best thing that ever happened to me as I look back at my career now. And I think actually everybody should be fired sooner or later. Because being fired from that job actually taught me a couple things. You know what it taught me was that humility, gratitude, and respect are really important assets in human relationship. You see, I had developed a bad attitude. I had lost respect, and I had lost gratitude for the job that I had. And I can tell you, your gratitude has a direct effect on your attitude. I learned some valuable lessons there, and I know most of you probably to this point have been looking at this right here, wondering, what in the world can a poop emoji toilet plunger teach anybody in life? And I want to tell you, this has never seen the inside of a toilet, otherwise I wouldn't be holding it. Today, I am the president and CEO of the Gilroy Chamber of Commerce. I have 4 employees who work for me. The Chamber of Commerce has nearly 700 business members here in town. We represent over 15,000 employees. When the Chamber of Commerce makes a decision here in town, it could potentially affect all of our business community, which is nearly 2,000 businesses, representing at that point, quite frankly, more than 45,000 employees, and families for that matter. In my phone, I have a direct line to the mayor of Gilroy. But you know something? All of that doesn't stop the toilet at the office from backing up. And when it does, and it has, I grab the plunger and I start plunging. You see, what I learned from that is it doesn't matter your title, your pay, or position in life. Sometimes the job you have stinks. Sometimes life gives you a lot of crap. And when it does, you just got to grab a plunger and start plunging. You see, these 4 events reaffirmed 6 words in my life. 6 words that created a foundation and actually changed my direction and my destiny. These 6 words, if you apply them to your life, can do the same thing for you. How many of you would like to make a lot of money in your career? Well, I've got 6 words that can help you do that. If you want to advance in your career, I'm going to give you 6 words that if you apply those to your life, will open doors of opportunity for you. These words aren't difficult, they're not magical. The fact is, not many people actually apply them to their life. And because of that, if you will, it'll make a difference in your life. The 6 words, are you ready? If you got a pencil, write them down, or log them in your phone, or just simply commit them to memory. It's not that hard. These 6 words: show up and do your job. Show up and do your job with a good attitude. Show up and do your job with a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Show up and do your job with a willingness to learn. Show up and do your job. Show up and do your job when you don't feel like it. Show up and do your job with the desire to be a team player. Show up and do your job and collaborate with others. Why? Because that's what they hired you to do. If you want to make more money, if you want to advance in your career, if you want doors of opportunity to open up to you, if you want more people who would desire you to be on their team, then I encourage you to show up and do your job. Show up and do your job. Show up and do your job. When you do that, you'll make more money, advancement will occur. People will desire to have you on their team if you just show up and do your job. And when you do, not only will you do well, you'll be the change in your own life, you'll be the change in other people's life as well.